Hi, everybody. It's Michelle Greenwood from Grand Junction, Colorado. I'm here to share my results and reactions from our developmental case assessment project, which I have to admit was probably the most challenging project that I've had to do so far this semester, just because I don't have a whole lot of experience with children. I don't work with them, and I don't have any kids, and my siblings don't have any kids. So I was a little nervous going into this. I chose to do the assessment on a little girl who's going to be 3 years old in just a few weeks, and she was phenomenal. She actually kind of helped put me at ease a little bit, I think. So we spent a few minutes just talking about princesses and her little baby brother, and that seemed to, I don't know if it calmed her down at all, but it certainly calmed me down a little bit, I think. Implications. She scored really well on all domains of the ASQ, in the communication, the problem solving, and the personal social domains. She scored the highest. On the gross motor skills and the fine motor skills, she scored, I think, between 45 and 50, which is still well above both the cutoff points for those domains. And it was actually kind of surprising to me that she scored lower in those domains, because she's been pretty active in gymnastics. But that's what she did. She might have also been a little distracted too when I met with her. So implications to social work for understanding, using this tool for understanding child development. I think that going through the ASQ and conducting a biopsychosocial really emphasized the fact that it's important to use a person and environment system when looking at children's development too. She a little bit of her history. She was born premature, late preterm, but everything was normal for her. She's hit all of her developmental milestones. She was crawling and walking and talking at an appropriate age. And she was on track for everything until about 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago in December, when her little baby brother, who was 6 months at the time, was diagnosed with bacterial meningitis and spent about 2.5 weeks in the hospital. And at one point in time, he was actually airlifted over to Children's Hospital in Denver, and apparently was kind of close to death on a couple of occasions during that 2.5 weeks. So it was a really traumatic experience for the entire family. The little girl did not see her mother very much at all during that time, and probably certainly felt the stress from other family members too. So as a result of that, she's had some changes in behavior. She had been progressing with her toilet training, and that she's actually taken a couple steps back, according to her mother. She also is having problems with sleep. She doesn't want to go to bed. She wants to be around other people. And then she wakes up in the middle of the night with nightmares, and she's very fearful, and that's definitely a new behavior for her. Also, I think another important aspect that I learned during this process was just how impactful parenting styles can be. Her mother is a social worker, and so she is very well aware of how you should be parenting someone, warm and nurturing and very consistent with your style. And since the baby brother's illness, there's just been so much stress, and she's had a lot on her plate, the mother. So the parenting style has become very inconsistent, and you could kind of tell during our discussion, a little light went on about maybe this is something she might want to work at a little bit more. So hopefully she can get back on track with that. Is the ASQ a good tool for working with children in the Southwest? I think so. I think that population, we're talking about maybe Latino immigrants, maybe some Native Americans. I think really the only factor that might play into how well someone does on an ASQ, at least from what I saw in the 3-year-old version, was maybe their socioeconomic status. If they don't have toys to be mentally stimulated, I think that might play into it. And what did I learn? Again, I think just how important the social environment can impact one's development. This little girl's been in daycare since she was 4 months old. She gets along really well with all of her classmates, and she's had that mental stimulation through play with others and both by herself. So I think that's important. Also, the importance of having a big family support system and then the parenting style. So overall, I actually thought this was a really interesting project. So I'm glad we did it. And thank you all for listening. And I look forward to hearing from all of you. Thanks.